Hi guys, here's a video to help you get ready and succeed in lesson module 5.1. In module 5.1, all you got to be able to do is really write linear equations from word problems, and also I'm going to show you how to write a linear equation from a graph, okay? It's pretty basic. Let's read a little word problem here to get started here. It says Greta's dad gives her a weekly allowance of $10 and also gives Greta $2 for every chore she does. And your task is to write a linear equation that shows Greta's possible weekly earnings. So obviously she's going to earn more by doing extra chores, okay? So as soon as you are asked to write a linear equation, okay, we should know that it will always be in the form y equals mx plus b. We saw that in module 4, where m represents the slope and b is your y-intercept, your starting value, okay? So we have to kind of decode what's going on here. So Greta's dad gives her a weekly allowance of $10. That's a one-time thing. She gets that every week. And then she also receives $2 for every chore she does, okay? So there's some key words in here, all right? We see for every chore she does, all right? That's going to indicate that 2 is our slope, our m value, okay? And since this is how much she starts with, $10, that's what she's guaranteed even if she does 0 chores, okay? That's going to be our y-intercept here, all right? So our m in this problem is 2, that's our slope. And our b, that's our y-intercept, is going to be 10. That's our starting amount. So our y-intercept is always our starting amount, and our slope is our rate of change. That's how much it goes up for every chore she does, all right? So x and y, very important in this. X represents how many chores she does. And y, in this problem, that's what we're trying to figure out, her total earnings, okay? So how much she earns, this is called our dependent variable, depends on how many chores she does. That's our independent variable here, all right? So our equation for this would be y equals 2x plus 10, okay? So to make sense of that, 2, that's how much each chore she earns how much money she will get, and that's her starting amount here, all right? So if she were to do 1 chore, she would get $10, that's her weekly allowance, plus 2 is the amount she earns per chore, so that would be 2 plus 10. She would earn a total of, sorry, a little artsy there. That means she would earn $12 if she did 1 chore, all right? And we could do that for any number of chores. If she decided during a certain week to do 7 chores, she would earn $10 plus $2 for each chore, so it'd be 2 times 7 plus 14. So she would earn $24 if she did 7 chores, all right? So we can use this linear equation to figure out how much she would earn for any number of chores, all right? If she did 20 chores, which is a little ridiculous, but if she did 20 chores, she would do 2 times 20, and then add on the $10 that she always gets here, all right? So the key word being every chore she does, that tells us this is our slope, okay? Let's look at another word problem here, okay? Shaquille has a $30 Tim Hortons gift card. Each time he buys a medium coffee, the value of the card decreases by $2.50. And again, we're going to write a linear equation to show the balance of the gift card after its use, all right? So if it starts at 30 and the card decreases by $2.50, obviously this number is going to get smaller and smaller each time that Shaquille purchases a medium coffee, all right? So the balance of the card depends on how many coffees that Shaquille decides to buy, all right? So again, we're asked to write a linear equation, so as soon as we see that, we know our equation has to be in this form, okay? So we basically just need to figure out what's our slope, what's our y-intercept, okay? All right, so right at the start, it said Shaquille is starting with $30 gift card. All right, so since that's what he's starting with, that is going to be our B value. Okay, and since the card is decreasing by $2.50 each, again, that's a key word, so each time he loses $2.50 off the card every time he purchases a coffee. So since the card is decreasing, we would say our slope is negative 2.5 or $2.50 each time. All right, so we can now simply make an equation for that. We know our m goes there, and that's our y equals mx plus b. So our slope goes here, our y-intercept. So 30 is what it is starting at, okay, $30. And it's decreasing by $2.50 every time he purchases a coffee, okay? So that's how we make up that equation. Our y-intercept is what we start with. Our slope is what the money is decreasing by each. So we look for words like each or per to decide if that's our slope here. So this would be our linear equation here, okay? So that's how you do it for a word problem, okay? And quickly, we got to know how to be able to look at a graph of a situation and also make a linear equation, all right? So if I just look at my axes before I get started here, this is representing our weeks, okay? And this is how much somebody has saved over this number of weeks. So we can see at the start, 0 at week 0. That means what I'm starting with. I'm starting with $50 beforehand, all right? At week 2, if we go up, and I know you guys don't see points, but you can make your own points on a line. If you notice, this looks like a point, you don't see any, but there's points all over here. This would be a point here. There's a point there. There's a point there at the corners, all right? So we see a pattern here. So at week 2, this person had $150 saved. At week 4, this person had $250 saved, and so on here, all right? So again, if you're asked to write a linear equation, always start out with y equals mx plus b. So again, we got to find our slope and our y-intercept here, all right? So our y-intercept, we remember from our previous lesson, is where the graph starts at or crosses the y-axis. So that point right there is on the y-axis. This is our y-intercept. So this person is starting with $50, okay? And our rate of change, that's our slope, m, is how much it's changing over time. So we could see at week 2, this person had saved $150. At week 4, this person had saved $250, okay? So a quick way of doing this here on the graph here is to see our rise and our run, okay? That's one way of calculating slope. Slope is our rise divided by our run, okay? So we can see it's at 150. It only looks like it went up 2 boxes, but be careful. Each of these boxes is worth $50, right? So it went up 50 and then another 50. So really, the rise is $100. And this is over 1 box, which these are going by 2. So this is a jump of 2 to the right. So that is our run is 2, all right? And slope is the change in y divided by the change in x. That means the slope is 50, which means this person is saving $50 each week because he saved $100 extra in 2 weeks, which means he's saving $50 per week. Okay, so that would be our slope. We can now put that together into an equation. mx plus b. Okay, so our slope was 50. That is how much he is saving each week. And actually has the same slope and y-intercept, all right? So it started with 50, so our equation would be y equals 50x plus 50, all right? So to find slope on a graph, you just do the rise divided by the run, okay? And again, our y-intercept is where our graph starts at on the y-axis, all right? Guys, I hope that was helpful. Thanks.